all the time.
Have you been stopped?
Oh, plenty of times.
Have you ever been stopped?
Many of times.
Despite claims by Mayor Michael Bloomberg and Police Commissioner Ray Kelly that stop and frisk is not used disproportionately in communities of color, a federal judge recently ruled it unconstitutional as practiced by the NYPD. Between 2004 and 2012, more than 4 million New Yorkers were stopped, and 84% of those targeted were Black and Latino. Joining us today to talk about the ruling and the court-mandated appointment of an independent monitor to reform this policy are Noel Leader, co-founder of 100 Blacks in Law Enforcement Who Care, and Erica Ford, the founder of South Jamaica Cure Violence Program and Life Camp. Thank you both for being with us again. We have talked about stop and frisk before. This ruling is a big one. I'm going to start with you, Noel. Your reaction to hearing it.
Right. Well, this judge's decision is a validation of what members of 100 Blacks in Law Enforcement Who Care have been saying for over the last 15 years, that New York City, especially under Police Commissioner Raymond Kelly, is involved in one of the most grotesque abuses of constitutional rights and citizens' rights via his stop, question, and frisk practices. We applaud the judge's decision, and this decision is an indictment on the administration of Michael Bloomberg and Ray Kelly. This is what we've been saying. These stops, as the judge has indicated, is a clear violation, and New Yorkers need to ask themselves, how did we get here to the point where a federal judge has to appoint a monitor of the New York City Police Department, where the city council had to get together and develop a law to create an inspector general to oversee the New York City Police Department. I think it's outrageous that Bloomberg and Kelly seems to still be in denial after all of this.
Now, I want to ask Erica before I get back to you, because you don't think stop and frisk is necessarily a bad thing, and you can tell me about that later. Erica, you work with young people in the community. You know, you've been here before talking about your work. We really wanted to hear from you about the impact that just knowing in so many of our communities, if you're walking down the street, basically black while walking, you can be stopped.
Yes, very much so. Like I was even stopped several different times, but you know, it's like when you go to the doctor and they give you a prescription, sometimes the drugs has negative side effects. The drug might be good for you, but it has negative side, and so many negative side effects that you need to stop taking that drug. And that's the same thing with this stop and frisk, that they might have had a good plan with it, but it's not working effectively in our community. It's creating bad relationships between the police and young people. Young people do not like the police because they're falsely harassed day in and day out. So you have to at some point listen to the people that you're serving when they're saying that this is not working for us, that you're creating a hate from us to you. You know, so why would you want to keep building on that? I think that this resolution that came out yesterday will be a beginning step to begin to try to heal and resolve some of those contradictions and change the relationship of how we work on resolving violence and any other crime in our community.
Now, Noel, I want to ask you, why is it as a former police officer, or how is it that stop and frisk should be used effectively in a community? Why you think it is and can be an effective policing tool?
Right. When done correctly, a police officer can stop and question a citizen when he reasonably suspects that they're engaged in criminal activity, or when he actually observes them engaging in criminal activity. When done correctly, constitutionally, it is an effective tool that police officers all over the world utilize. When they observe somebody who they reasonably suspect to be engaged, about to be engaged in criminal activity, or when they engage in criminal activity, they can stop a person. No problem, but that's not what happened. That's not what's happening in NYPD under Police Commissioner Raymond Kelly. They are unconstitutional stop. There's no suspicion of criminal activity involved. These officers are just arbitrarily stopping innocent, non-criminal individuals in our community, and that's creating the hate. And Commissioner Kelly knows that. So when he says it's stopping crime, it's really not. When done correctly, it stopped crime legally.
Now, are you hopeful that this monitor can reform, retrain officers, which has been mandated in this court ruling? Are you hoping that you're going to see that happen?
Well, we always call for federal oversight. We're hopeful that it would happen. We would hope that you know, a member of our community, you know, whenever someone's appointed these kind of positions, never one that reflects the community that's being victimized by this. But we're hopeful. The federal government is totally independent of New York City politics, so we wanted a federal monitor, and we'll sit back and we'll see. We're going to request a meeting Black, Latino, and officers are going to request a meeting with this monitor to sort of assist him in what we know are the missing holes in NYPD practices.
Now, and Erica, while we talk about reforming this and retraining officers to use stop, question, and frisk, as you call it, in a constitutional way, are you fearful that the relationship between many in communities of color and the police may be irreparably damaged? I mean, can the NYPD backtrack and sort of reestablish relationships with all of these people who have felt victimized and harassed?
You know, coming from someone who works with people who might have committed crimes that have taken someone's life, we repair that damage. We repair those relationships. I work with parents who forgive someone for killing their child. So if we can go to the ultimate of that, then anything is possible as long as we take the right steps to do it.
And I want to get both of your takes on this talk about putting cameras on officers.
Now that
what
is the
are you
best.
thinking?
Oh yes, if the officer is not doing anything inappropriate, then he shouldn't mind. These cameras do not obstruct him in any way, shape, or form from doing his job. All it is gives the community an opportunity to observe what he's actually doing.
That's the best monitor. That's
camera.
the best monitor.
Exactly.
I think that all of those appointments and so on and so forth end up getting clouded after a while to me. But if you filming them and what they're doing and listening to how they're talking to people and disrespecting people, that's the best monitor for me.
And knowing the camera, perhaps it will
Check you, make you stop and think.
And we'll see what the numbers look like once officers wear these cameras, because what the judge has stated is that the precincts that do the most stops, one precinct in each borough, the officers should wear the cameras. Let's look at the numbers after these officers wearing the cameras to see if they are, as Commissioner Kelly claims, stopping crime, which we know they aren't.
And we'll be out there with our own cameras as well, filming in our community.
Oh, keep us posted, and of course, we'll have you both back. And we should mention again that the city is appealing this ruling. Right.
Yeah.
Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.